I am back, I am balanced, and the synchronicities are popping again. I want to share that with you along with a really cool location that we visited and talk a little bit about feeding your soul. The synchronicities are back. I am so happy to tell you that. I am so happy to be able to get on here and tell you that, because it means that things are balanced once again. If you caught a previous video, you saw that there was about a month there that there was a lot of stress. Now, it wasn't bad stress. It was just human stuff, and there was just a lot of human stuff. When you have a lot of human things happening in your life, your intuition can dull. And for me, when my intuition dulls, my synchronicities slow down and or like this time, stop altogether, which really bummed me out. If you've been watching this channel, you know how much I love the synchronicities. If you're new to the channel, what is a synchronicity? It's a coincidence. That's what a lot of people call them. Oh, it's a coincidence. For me, I like to change that term and use the term synchronicity because I'm aware of being an active creator on my path, meaning what I think about, I bring about, what I speak comes back. So when we're talking about walking a spiritual path, really in essence, what's in here is what you get more of, and that's being an active creator. So my synchronicities are little tiny ways that the universe and source says, yep, we hear you, or we're bringing you more of that, or you are linked in, or, you know, yes, we're with you on this path that you're creating. And I absolutely love them because they're very fun. And in order to be a synchronicity for us, it has to be pretty stand out. You know what I mean? We're not really big on saying, oh, a bird flew over there. That must mean something. That's not what I'm talking about. For me, the synchronicities are things that line up, or the timing is so bizarre that it just makes you stop and smile. And they're back. I'm super excited. A couple synchronicities from the past, for example, would be, I remember one day saying, oh, I got to run this errand. Should I do it today? Should I do it tomorrow? I'm just going to do it today. I don't know. It feels like the right day. And I got in the truck, turned it on. The clock said 11:11. It was my favorite artist, one of my favorite songs. And I was like, all right, today's the day to run the errand. This is definitely it. Another one I recall, we were driving north, and our goal driving north was to see my kids, and I was missing them desperately. So we're driving north, and I'm thinking about this, and we drive through a small random town called Pumpkin Town. And Pumpkin happens to be my nickname for one of my kids. So it's the little synchronicities like that that kind of tell you the universe is listening. I guess that's a way to say it. And source is loving you and is on your path with you. It also makes me feel not so alone on the path, that my guides and my loved ones are there watching over me, giving me these little signs. And we got our first one. Yay, very excited. This is a good sign because it means that, you know, we're linked back into our spiritual flow and into our path. And it's a really, really wonderful thing. So we left New Hampshire, went up to Vermont, focused completely on balance, completely on filling ourselves back up, went to another campground and had a conversation on the way to the campground, I believe, or shortly after we had gotten there. The conversation was about New Hampshire, how it's absolutely beautiful. It's breathtaking. I mean, hiking and all that and kayaking there is spectacular, and how wonderful it is. But how it's not so wonderful when you pack everything on. So going back to New Hampshire in the future is going to be more blissful because we've learned, we know a little bit better that when we go back there to take time to relax. So we have this conversation. And then it was the first day I believe we were there. Maybe it was the second day at this campground. But I do know it's one of the first people that Terry talked to. And it was a gentleman that happened to be from Nashua, New Hampshire. And that is where Terry was born and raised. So it was just like a little check mark to us going, hey, New Hampshire is still saying hello. And we're glad that you found balance with it and peace. So that was our first synchronicity. It's back. I expect many, many more to come. Very excited about that. And I will share them with you as they do. I love this. Sadie's making a nest. What you doing, Sadie? She's like, if I hold still, she can't see me. Oh, hi. There's one location I want to share with you because I relate to this location on an intuitive level. And maybe not the way that you might think right out of the gate, but I want to share this with you because this location we went to a while back, but I haven't had it on Medium on the Move yet because Medium on the Move wasn't being recorded at that time. And now that it is, I kind of want to bring this one back because it was a really cool experience. It's the Blue Ridge Tunnel in Virginia. It is a railway tunnel that's over 2 miles long for pedestrians to be able to walk through. And it's spectacular. It opened in 2020 and we just stumbled on it. I think it was on one of the campground lists of things to do. And we stumbled on it, went to it. We were walking toward it and came around to the opening of the tunnel. And it was just like you could hear music playing in your head. It was just like, whoa, it was spectacular. And so you get excited and you think, oh, this is cool. And then you start walking, and the further you get down this tunnel, mind you, over 2 miles long, the further you get down this tunnel, you realize you're disconnected from the outside world in such a way that it almost brings you right into center. Like there's nothing else distracting you. And I relate to this on an intuitive level because when I'm doing intuitive work, part of that is letting go of the agreed upon reality around you, kind of letting everything around you fade so you can focus in on the intuitive work. And the tunnel just does that. It just does that because you're not distracted by anything. I mean, it's so dark that you need to use a flashlight to look around if you want to see all the intricacies, which focuses you in even more. It was a really, really cool experience. And I had a couple of little moments in there of kind of that intuitive disorientation, not in a bad way, but in a really cool way that invited me to just be centered and just stand and feel the environment. And it was really moving. If you are ever near it, I suggest going because it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful experience visually, intuitively, energetically. It's really, really wonderful. Plus, if you're in the middle of the tunnel, and you let out a shout, the echo is just, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And by the way, Terry did that without letting me know. Remember, it's completely dark in there, without letting me know. Yeah, that startled me. And then we laughed. It was fun. But if you're ever near there, I highly suggest you go because it's a different spiritual experience. And it's a really, really cool one because you're also encapsulated in such a way that you really kind of get to be in the moment without even forcing yourself to be in the moment. Terry, we're in the tunnel. We're in the tunnel. When it comes to full-time RVing, one thing that can be hard for some is bringing along that which they're really passionate about on the road. Now, if you're passionate about collecting, 4-foot tall statues of animals, yeah, probably not going to be able to do that on the road. I would probably reconsider full-time RVing. But if you're passionate about art, make sure to bring your artwork so it's easy for you to access, so it's easy for you to do on a regular basis. If you're passionate about, it doesn't matter, knitting, crocheting, photography, make sure that you have an area in your RV that's carved out specifically for that. Now, Terry and I, when we hit the road, we specifically looked for an RV that would support both of our passions because it's really important to us that each other can still be able to express themselves and do what they love. Now, when you do what you love, you're feeding your soul. When you do that, you're raising your vibration. When you do that, that's when everything works out for you and things come into your life like abundance and love and joy and happiness. So feeding your soul, you radiate out that good energy and then more good energy comes back to you. So the two things here that we had to look for, number one was Terry. He is a chef. He's been a chef all of his life. He's a really good one, but it's his artwork and you can tell like he loves to plate a plate and he just gets so passionate about the process. It is his artwork. So we had to find an RV that had a kitchen that was suitable. Now, most RVs have a kitchen where it's just down the side of one wall. It's, you know, just a row like the sink and the stove and the fridge and a little bit of countertop, but we knew that he needed more than that. So we found one, and I'll show you a little bit more of the kitchen in the next video, but we found one that had a kitchen that felt like an actual kitchen, and that was really important. So he's been loving that. For me, I am passionate about my job. Love my job. Absolutely love what I do. I get to lift people up. I get to support them as they step into their spiritual path, as they increase their intuition, as they connect to loved ones on the other side. I mean, I absolutely love what I do. And I also love the building process of it. How do I get people more access to this? How do I do this? I love creating and building. So for me, it's my job. Now, I also like feeling when I go to work that I'm stepping into my job, not that my job is part of my day-to-day experience. That when that's happening for me, it gets really muddied. And if you're a full-time RVer and you're working on the road, you're probably going like this. Because a lot of full-time RVers that are working on the road, you know, set up shop right on the kitchen table there or something. So I took the next step and I got the toy hauler because I knew I needed that cave space. I needed an area that I would go to that was only designated for work and that would hold that work vibration for me, because I kind of escape into work, if that makes sense. And that's how I can give all of myself when I work. So it was really important for us to have those two things. Now, I would say to anyone, whether you're RVing or not, what are you passionate about, and are you doing it frequently? Not even daily, but frequently. Are you a writer? When was the last time you wrote? Are you an artist? When was the last time you did artwork? These things are so important. They feed our soul, they feed our core. And I would really, really encourage you to jump back in if it's been a while for yourself. And if you're a full-time RVer and you've set something aside because of full-time RVing, get creative. Find a creative way. Just start brainstorming. There might not be a solution right out of the gate, but start brainstorming. Maybe there's a way to put all of your art supplies in a certain place so you can just pull them out from that, you know, that bench seat by the kitchen table. Or maybe there's a way to create, you know, your photography kit and store it in one particular place so it's super easy to access. There's a lot of different things that different people do, and we can always be creative on how to bring them into our lives. Now back to Terry and his art. We were recently in Vermont and found the most amazing food stand with just the most amazing people as well. And for Terry, this was really great because on the road, it can be tough to find good food sometimes. It can be hard. Sometimes you roll into a very small town that has a couple fast food places and a really small grocery store. When we land on something like this, it's a treat. It is. Now, if you lived near that farm stand, it would be all day, every day, all year, but we don't. And we're moving from place to place to place. So each location that you move to, you have to go out and kind of scout and find, you know, food. And when you find a farm stand like this, or a really large grocery store that has a lot of variety, that's when he gets to play. One of the reasons we bought this camper and had this choice was the layout of the kitchen. Terry's a chef, as you might know, might not know, but it was really important for Terry to have his own space and a nice place to do his artwork, really.
So this is my kitchen. I've gone from 16 burner stoves to this and a grill. But the cool part is that you don't have to limit yourself by the lack of a professional kitchen. You can do anything you want, any of the food you like. This is fresh Tuscany basil. Never had it, never tried it. Thought it was cool, so that's what we did. We just bought it. You know, Beau decided, hey, these look cute, let's get them. And then she tried one and realized that they were super sour.
Yeah.
The cool part is we get to feed ourselves well while we're supporting local economies. And we're in Brattleboro, Vermont, and it's just wonderful. It's wonderful. So always supporting local communities. Beau helped save a chicken today.
I did.
She helped save a chicken. The chicken was looking in distress, and she brought it up to a person that worked there.
His little leg was shaking.
We stood there and waited, you know, till somebody came by and made sure the chicken was okay, and the chicken just got up and ran off, you know. And so it was really cool. But
I think he just put a show on for me. He was like, "Hey, do you feel for me?" And I was like, "I do."
let's put the smoked chicken out of the way now.
Oh yeah, now that we're talking
There
about
we
chicken.
go. Yes. Nobody saw that. It's not the same chicken.
Great
But-
farm stand though.
Great
Just
farm
fantastic.
stands. Yes, lovely people. Everybody just, it's the vibe thing that Beau was talking about, the energy. And for me, this is energy.
And we also got an alien plant because it looks like a little alien.
It's succulent. So it doesn't have to be hard, you know? Just use 2 or 3 of these things and make something great.
What are you going to make
Use
tonight?
Tonight I'm going to make a, I don't know, what do you want me to make here?
I want you to make me what you do
All right. So
best.
tonight I'm going to do the heirloom tomatoes, some of the fresh, what's it called again? Tuscany basil. I'll do a roasted corn salsa. Probably use the goat cheese with that, and a little bit of greens, and then I'll make a citrus vinaigrette and just drizzle it around, and it's all veg all day.
Nice.
And it's fun. So just remember to use all your produce. It's expensive. And then tomorrow I'm going to do some with the figs, you know. I love figs. They're great. Ground prosciutto, little whipped ricotta on top, a little orange zest, you know, some mixed olive is always delicious. And I got bread because I really like carbs a lot. So
you're going to create.
I'm going to create because it's fun for me. Because it's
Feeds you.
I.
And my life does not suck.